I'm going to show you 3 games, and I want you to tell me what they all have in common. Steal a Brainrot, Grow a Garden, Plants vs. Brainrots. And the answer is, they're all terrible. And you know what the scary part is? They're made to be that way. Modern Roblox games aren't built for good gameplay. They aren't passion projects either, they're designed around one primary goal: capturing and holding your attention for as long as possible. Every mechanic, visual, and sound is optimized not for fun, but to fry your dopamine cells. The moment you join any of these games, you are instantly hit with flashing colors, extreme brightness, and loud, overstimulating sounds. This constant visual noise isn't just accidental. It's one of the first steps in a system designed to keep players psychologically locked in. Developers mostly rely on multiple retention-focused techniques. One of the most effective tools they use is something you might not even notice: sound. The Pet Simulator lead developer Preston reportedly spent hours, maybe even days, perfecting the coin pickup sound in Pet Simulator 99. Just the sound. Not because it was broken or anything, but because it needed to hit that perfect dopamine note. The kind of sound that tickles your brain to continue playing more, even when nothing interesting is actually happening. And sound is just one piece of the puzzle. Another technique these games usually rely on turns all the fun in a game into stress and fear. Of course, I'm talking about the fear of missing out. Every modern Roblox game has some version of it. Limited time pets, exclusive items, random events. When games have admin abuse, all the players are constantly waiting for it to happen. Even if it's at 5 in the morning for them, they are in fear that they might miss out on something cool. Like, take Steal a Brainrot for example. In September of this year, the game had over 25 million players in the game at one time, just for the admin abuse. And it still currently holds the world record for the most amount of players in a single game ever. There's also another technique they use, and I think it's one of the sneakiest ones. Actually, you might not even notice without me telling you. What I'm talking about is constant rewards. Specifically, the rewards that require little to no effort. Confetti exploding all over the screen, numbers climbing like crazy, progress bars fill instantly. You're always earning something, even when you're barely playing. So this creates the illusion of progress, without any meaningful gameplay. You're not solving problems or improving at anything, you're just watching numbers go up. And because the rewards come so frequently, your brain never gets the chance to slow down and ask whether you're actually having fun or not. And if you've been playing Roblox for a long time, you'd know that the older games weren't like this at all. Old Roblox games used to be built with passion that translated into fun gameplay. And you can definitely notice the difference. Think about the games from around 2016 to 2018. Natural disaster survival, work at a pizza place, epic minigames. Back when every update felt like an event. Phantom Forces, sorry about that, is deadass more polished than some actual real shooters. Even games like Speedrun 4 for example. It's so simple. A little shitty if you look at it for the first time, but weirdly addictive for the right reasons. Because none of these games were actually screaming at you. You wanted to keep playing because the game was fun. There were no fireworks every 2 seconds like in other games. They didn't have limited time eggs down your throat, no timers begging you to stay 5 more minutes for the playtime rewards. You played because the gameplay itself was the reward. Honestly, half the fun was figuring things out for yourself. If you were to join a new modern Roblox game right now, the first thing you would see instantly is a giant tutorial at the top and a huge fucking red arrow telling you where to go. There was no giant tutorial telling you what to do back then. You had to run around and figure it all out by yourself. It was just you and probably some random guy in the chat on some freaky shit. So let's be real here, Roblox isn't the only platform with this problem either. It's YouTube as well. The moment you open the website, you are instantly getting stared down by Mr. Beast's uncanny weird AI face and his bright ass colors. And when you click the video, he just does not stop screaming. It's almost like every video on this platform now is just so shitty that they have to use constant psychological methods to keep you engaged throughout their bad video. And this is where things get really uncomfortable, because all of this attention optimized dog shit works best on kids. It's not because kids are stupid or anything, no. It's because their brains are literally not finished developing. Children don't have fully developed impulse control. They're way worse at delaying gratification. They're more sensitive to rewards, bright colors, loud sounds, and sudden feedback. And modern Roblox games are designed to target every single one of those weaknesses at once. That's not an accident. These games spam you with constant rewards because kids' brains latch onto the short-term dopamine hits like crackheads. You open an egg, you collect a coin, you walk 5 steps. Even when you're doing absolutely nothing, the game is still rewarding your brain, giving it signals to keep going and getting those same rewards for the feel-good chemical. Things like eggs, pets, spins. Whatever the game has, they're all just variable rewards. Sometimes you get something good, but most of the time you don't. And that uncertainty is what makes it addictive. It's the same trick they use in gambling, just wrapped in bright ass colors and cartoon pets. It's the same reason why Pet Simulator was under so much backlash. Because they kept constantly getting kids addicted to spending Robux on eggs that wouldn't guarantee them anything. They were just gambling with real money for fake pets. And let's be honest, a 7-year-old does not stand a chance against that. And if you add the fear of missing out on top of it, you get Grow a Garden. The entire game is full of random events that happen throughout the day. Once every few hours, sometimes once in a few days. And you get that fear that you might actually miss out on some of these events. Suddenly, the game isn't just fun, it's stressful. You're not playing because you want to, you're playing because you're scared to miss something. And that pressure hits kids especially hard, because they don't have the emotional tools to step back and leave. Instead, they just spend countless more hours in the game with their Roblox Premium, generating the developers thousands of dollars, even if you didn't spend a penny in the game. What makes this worse is that a lot of these games blur the line between good gameplay and monetization. Robux becomes a part of the reward loop. It's designed exactly like gambling. It's always one more egg for the rare pet, but it's never framed as gambling, but it's framed as progress. So what happens if Roblox just keeps going like this? Because here's the thing. Platforms don't die all at once. They just rot very slowly. When every successful game is built around the same attention hijacking formula, creativity doesn't just slow down, it gets punished. Developers who want to make something different learn pretty quickly that originality doesn't pay the bills. If your game isn't loud, fast, and constantly rewarding, it gets buried, not because it's bad or anything, but because it doesn't farm retention metrics hard enough. So what do developers do? They do whatever they have to do. Without any other options, they just copy what works. Same UI, same pets, same upgrade loops, same AFK for rewards bullshit. Roblox turns into a front page full of reskins that just feel the exact same. Sure, it might be different niches, but the exact same gameplay. And that's how a platform loses its soul. And here's where it gets worse. A ton of developers leave the platform because of this. And even more players leave because there's nothing good to play on Roblox anymore, which focuses the current player base to play the modern games. And that prompts Roblox to double down on pushing these horrible games. At some point, Roblox stops being a game platform and kind of starts feeling like an app store for overstimulation. And sure, Roblox might still look successful on paper. High player counts, high revenue, but long term? Hell no. That growth is so fragile. Players burn out faster and developers don't even want to do anything. All the current games have shorter lifespans. And once the platform reaches their reputation for being a loud kids game, it's almost impossible to get rid of. And to be fair, most developers aren't sitting there rubbing their hands like some evil villains. They're responding to the system Roblox built. Most of the developers that I personally know don't even enjoy working on these kinds of games. They'd very much rather work on their passion project instead of making these horribly bright games to keep themselves afloat. But the reality is, that just doesn't pay the bills. If you spend months making something original and it dies in discovery, that's not a learning experience, it's a financial hit. Meanwhile, the loud overstimulating games gets pushed to the front page because they farm retention like crazy. So developers adapt, not because they want to, because if they don't, they won't have enough money to get food for the month. As a developer myself, it kind of messes with how you think. I stopped asking myself if the game is going to be fun. Instead, I had to ask myself, how can I keep the players from leaving my game? You have to design around metrics instead of moments, and that is super exhausting. A lot of devs end up burnt out, stuck maintaining games they don't even like. They're afraid to take risks because the algorithm doesn't forgive mistakes. Some eventually just quit Roblox entirely. Others move to different engines where creativity isn't immediately punished for being slow or subtle. Or sometimes, they just switch careers entirely. So, when people blame developers for the state of Roblox, they're aiming at the wrong target. This isn't a morality issue, it's an incentive issue. When the system rewards noise, noise is what you get. The problem isn't that developers stopped caring, it's that caring stopped being valuable.